What is up, guys? It is Chris once again. If you saw my last video, I said at the end, actually I said at the beginning, I wasn't planning on shooting videos today, but my power or my internet connection went out, so I just thought I'd throw a couple videos together. Actually, this is one I'd kind of planned on doing, kind of following up on a video I did previously. And I said at the end of my last video, I'd probably shoot it and drop it later this week, which is the case. I dropped a video a while back, my 5 favorite DVDs, just something to do, something a little bit different because the fight week was slow. And it's the same here. There's nothing going down this weekend to predict, really. So just going to drop this. This is basically, as I said on the previous DVD video, I don't have a lot of DVDs. So this will probably be the last one. There's going to be just my other 5 favorite DVDs that I own. But I'll throw a 6th one in there. I'll start off with that one first, actually. Number 6 would be Jason's Lyric. Got Jada Pinkett in there. If you haven't seen it, I know by looking at the cover, it looks like some sorry-ass sap, romance movie. It does have an element of that, but if you have seen it, it's a little bit more than just that. It's got Bokeem Woodbine in it. Plays the crazy brother, him and his brother have a crazy relationship. It's a good movie, though, I'm not really too into the whole storyline with Jada Pinkett and Alan Payne. Their characters, the whole romance storyline, but I do like all the rest of the storylines in it. Tretch from Naughty by Nature, if y'all remember him. He's in it. He plays one of the, I guess you would say, the villain character. Plays a pretty good villain, too. But it's more of I would say, an urban type of romance movie. But it's good, if you're into those kind of movies, you should like it. If you have seen it, let me know what your thoughts are. Next up, in the vein of, I guess you would say, romance type movies or something. True Romance. Now, this is a movie I would imagine at least quite a few people have seen. Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Brad Pitt, James Gandolfini from The Sopranos all have good cameos, as does Bronson Pinchot, Balky from Perfect Strangers. Of all people, right? But True Romance, good movie. Once again, the whole Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette romance storyline, it is what it is. Not really my forte, but everything else involved with the movie is great. Ton of violence, great dialogue. Brad Pitt, once again, his character is unforgettable. And James Gandolfini from The Sopranos, his confrontation or showdown with Patricia Arquette, definitely one of the more violent yet entertaining scenes you'll see in a movie. So, True Romance, if you haven't seen it, give it a shot. It's a really good movie. I believe Quentin Tarantino wrote the script for it. It was before he did Pulp Fiction or anything, but it's a really good movie, especially if you like violent paced movies. Next up, we got, hold up, don't go nowhere, Dead Presidents. Now, this is by the Hughes brothers. This was a follow-up to Menace to Society. Their follow-up movie to Menace to Society, not that it has any relation to it, aside from the fact that they directed and Lorenz Tate's the main character who was O-Dog in Menace to Society. But, no, it's a really good movie. Set in, I believe, the 70s. Lorenz Tate comes home from the war. Him and Chris Tucker, they have trouble struggling, after the Vietnam War, getting their life back together and stuff. And plan a bank robbery, and things kind of go from there. I don't really want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but it's a really good movie. Once again, urban drama, somewhat. But, I can't say too, I'm not going to say too much about it, but I just think it's a really good movie. I'm sure anyone that's seen it would agree with me. It seems like it's not really talked about as much. It's kind of forgotten. I don't know, it's one of those came and gone movies, but I really enjoy it. Next up, we got, these aren't necessarily in order either, but kind of. Mi Vida Loca. Now, this movie, My Crazy Life, that's what Mi Vida Loca stands for. This movie is, it's a film about some Hispanic, Mexican, whatever you want to call them, Mexican gangster girls, kind of the struggles they go through, in the vein of a movie like a Blood In, Blood Out. But in this case, the majority of the characters that are focused on are Hispanic females. There's also some guys in there too as well, to mix it up, because obviously they'd be involved. But no, it's a good movie. I pretty much like all those gang type movies, more so not like old school gang type movies like Untouchables or something, Godfather. Not that I don't like those films as well, but more so the modernized urban gangster movies. And Mi Vida Loca, for being a mostly female focused movie, I do think it is good. I do think it is entertaining. It's got pretty good music in it. It's got lowriders in it, something of interest of mine. And, you know, just something that I like. So if you haven't seen it and you like movies like Blood In, Blood Out or American Me, Boulevard Nights, if you've seen that old movie, check it out. You'll probably like it. And I don't know, but not saying it's for everyone. You know, the fact that it just focuses on some women may not appeal to certain audiences. Next up, speaking of the movie, American Me. I addressed this in my last video on DVDs. Very similar to the movie Blood In, Blood Out / Bound by Honor. They came out around the same time. I think American Me came out first. I mean, I swear the movies have almost the same exact script. If you've seen one, then after you watch the other, you're going to be like, wait a minute, this ripped this other one up. They're that similar in the storylines. There are differences here and there. I do like Blood In, Blood Out / Bound by Honor better. I just like the characters better, and it's a longer film. But American Me is still a movie I really, really like. You know, the cool thing is, well, I don't know how cool it is, but it does take place in parts of it in Folsom Prison, which is kind of interesting because, you know, I live not too far from Folsom Prison, so I'm just like, hey, yo, there's my spot. But plus, you know, I used to date a girl that lived around in the Folsom Prison, not the prison itself, but on the ground somewhat. You know, I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about it. Or, you know, her mom worked at the prison, and they lived inside the prison grounds. There's like houses in there and stuff, but not in the prison itself. So a lot of the setting looks familiar to me somewhat. Fortunately, I've never been locked up in Folsom Prison, and I don't plan on being. So, anyways, American Me, though, another really good movie. Another one, once again, like I said, an urban drama type of film. Prison. I like a lot of prison movies, you know. I don't know. Just because, you know, there's always going to be some violence and some interesting characters and some shenanigans going on. I used to be a real big fan of the show Oz on HBO, probably one of my favorite shows of all time. So I like things like that. You know, even a movie like The Butterfly Effect, the scenes where they're in prison, you know, some of my favorite scenes of the movie. So American Me, once again, it's very similar to Blood In, Blood Out. If you've seen one, you're probably going to, you know, if you've seen them both, you're going to be like, yeah, they are very similar, but I like Blood In, Blood Out a little bit better. Anyways, moving on last. Now, this is one I'll be surprised if anyone else knows. I will be really surprised in all honesty, but you're going to know about it now. Good luck finding it. The Boys Next Door. Starring Charlie Sheen and, I forgot this other guy's name. I think it's Maxwell Kaufman or something. Maxwell Caulfield. But, old movie, dude. This is like from the early 80s. Like 83 or 84. I don't know. It used to come on TV a lot. And cable back then. But, great movie. Basically, Charlie Sheen and this dude right here. And don't let the title on the front folio says young, handsome, desirable, deadly. The movie has nothing to do with, you know, it doesn't focus on them being young or handsome or desirable. That's not even any kind of a theme in the movie. I don't understand why that's there. Just maybe the deadly part. But anyways, two guys fresh out of high school, kind of, you know, wondering where they're going to go next in life. Particularly the character Roy, played by Maxwell Caulfield. He's a bit of a loose cannon, and they go on a little bit of a terror spree. You know, I don't want to give too much away there as well, but it is absolutely, you know, one of my best friends saw my last video, and he said, yo, why didn't you put The Boys Next Door on there, man? I know that's one of your favorite movies. And I said, you know, I had top 5. It just missed out over Tombstone, but The Boys Next Door is a great movie. Actually, you know what? You could find it on YouTube. I remember I was talking to someone about it, and it's on YouTube. It's like in 10 parts because it's a 90-minute film, but if you can't find it in your video store, which you're probably not going to, and online, I got it from Amazon.com, and it got released to DVD a few years back because it hadn't been on DVD. It was only on VHS. Once it came to DVD, I bought it. I don't know if you could still get it on Amazon.com or not, or Netflix or whatever. I never looked on Netflix. But if you can, I would recommend buying it. It's really cheap, you know. But if not, watch it on YouTube. It's a really good movie, you know. Like I said, I don't want to give away too much. It does somewhat, at the beginning, it's kind of trippy. It kind of centers on serial killers and whatnot. Another interest of mine as far as studying, not being, obviously. But, you know, that's that. It's a really good movie, The Boys Next Door with Charlie Sheen. Check that out. Anyways, there's a few other DVDs I'm not going to show, but just mention that I also have that are kind of favorites as well. New Jack City, Colors, The Karate Kid. You know, Karate Kid I went and saw when I was a kid. My aunt took me to the theaters to see it. Always love that movie. Never get tired of it. Love it. Colors in New Jack City, you know, urban gangster films as well, but, you know, just not as high on my list as the other movies I've mentioned. And I do have some movies on VHS, which I don't have on DVD. Don't ask why. Most notably Friday. Friday is one of my favorite movies. One of the funniest comedies of all time, if not the funniest to myself personally. I don't have it on DVD. If I did, it would definitely have made the top 5. I have it on VHS. I just haven't watched it a lot since I stopped smoking weed years ago, but still good, you know. Also, a movie Kids I have on VHS. Man, a really crazy movie. Very back in the day, it looked like a documentary. It looked like real life, but if you haven't seen the movie Kids, you know, and you're not disturbed too much by just strange images, check that out. If you have seen it, you already know what it is. As well, Pulp Fiction, got that on VHS as well. Another great movie, one of my all-time faves. And Hoop Dreams, great documentary on a couple of kids in high school moving on to college, pursuing basketball. Hoop Dreams, one of the best documentaries of all time, in my opinion. So that's pretty much it. You know, just a different vid, just to kill some time. Probably my last vid on DVDs. I have another video I shot not too long back about some of my favorite CDs. Unfortunately, I went over the limit, so I may drop that sooner or later. But until then, I'm out.